I'm a friend of Shedeur, and I'm just putting myself in his shoes. Like, yo, you give me a call, hey, you made the Pro Bowl. Like, that's something you should celebrate.
Yeah.
Just because the league has messed up and how they did it, don't mean he can't celebrate it. So this is a tricky one.
It is. Let me also say the other side of it. Like, congrats to Shedeur. Yeah. You know what I mean? Congrats to Shedeur. Shout out to Shedeur for making the Pro Bowl. That's something that regardless, nobody can take from you. Mm-hmm. Like being a draft pick, nobody can take that from you. Your first touchdown pass, nobody can take that from you. Congrats to Shedeur for making the Pro Bowl. With all due respect, who would have thought when he was drafted and being prank called by individuals who wanted to make him feel lesser than, who would have thought back then that Shedeur Sanders, you'd be getting a Pro Bowl nod. So with all due respect, Shedeur, you had to put yourself in a position to be chosen, whether that means playing games, whether that means starting games, whether that means at least throwing several touchdown passes, not giving up so you could continue to captivate several audiences and move the culture and rally the whole culture behind you. So congrats to Shedeur in that capacity. You put yourself in a position to be chosen. Congrats on getting chosen. That's no laughable thing.
Shedeur Sanders recently made it to the Pro Bowl, and the Speak Easy team was compelled to acknowledge something that will silence all of the critics. He is not to blame. I don't want Shedeur to get hit directly because even the critics know this isn't about Shedeur's performance, Emmanuel AKO actually said at the beginning of his opinion. This concerns a malfunctioning system that Shedeur did not design. This whole story will be turned upside down by what LeSean McCoy disclosed about why Shedeur was right to accept the offer. However, you must first comprehend what actually transpired behind the scenes before we can analyze why everyone owes Shedeur an apology. Because this position was offered to at least 6 quarterbacks prior to Shedeur, and each of them declined. Lamar Jackson declined it. Joe Burrow is uninterested. Please, Aaron Rodgers. And the fact that they all declined indicates that Shedeur made the best choice. Additionally, Shedeur McCoy made a comparison between Shedeur's predicament and his own Pro Bowl experience. Furthermore, his remarks will alter your perspective on the entire dispute. Allow me to explain what truly transpired. Additionally, keep a watchful eye out because the media is purposefully omitting this information. Shedeur Sanders was selected as an alternate for the Pro Bowl. Everyone is aware of that part. They don't tell you how many people had to turn him down before his name was mentioned. Patrick Mahomes is out due to an injury. Due to an injury, Bo Nix is out. Drake May is in the Super Bowl, thus he is unable to attend. Josh Allen turned down the invitation. Joe Burrow said no. Trevor Lawrence said no. Lamar Jackson turned it down. The list is endless. I don't want Shedeur to get hit directly on the Speak Easy, Emmanuel AKO stated. He is admitting what everyone is already aware of. It has nothing to do with Shedeur Sanders. This relates to the fact that seasoned players are declining to play in the Pro Bowl since it has become so pointless. Additionally, Shedeur is seen as the villain for accepting when everyone else rejected him. That is crazy. That is not correct. Haters are searching for any reason to disparage a young black quarterback who is performing admirably. LeSean McCoy quickly put an end to this. Man, it's like a dream come true to be called to the Pro Bowl, he remarked. When you're a child, your dream is to attend the NFL draft, have your name called, and win the Super Bowl. You won't turn down a call to participate in the Pro Bowl simply because you didn't have a fantastic season. Facts, just facts. Why would Shedeur Sanders decline a chance that would be accepted by any other athlete in his position? Why should he be held to a different standard than Drake May, who made the Pro Bowl last year with a 3-8 record, or Tyler Huntley, who made it a few years ago with 4 starts? The solution is straightforward. Due to the fact that Sanders is his last name. Since he is the son of Dion. Since before he was drafted, they have been waiting for him to fail. The haters, however, fail to see this. It wasn't haughtiness for Shedeur to accept the Pro Bowl offer. It was intelligence. It was maturity. It was being more aware of how the NFL operates than his detractors.
Shedeur Sanders being in it is one of the best things for the NFL. He is by far and away the most popular player in the NFL this
But
season.
here's my thought, though, is like, if you're Shedeur, can you even accept this invite?
Absolutely.
And not literally, obviously he can.
Yeah.
But like, Kieran, there comes a point in time when you're like, I shouldn't be here. Let's go back to middle school, G. And y'all was all in middle school, right? If you younger than that, you shouldn't be watching this show. Let's go back to middle school. There comes a point in time if you play in a sport and you sorry. Or if you in class and you sorry, and you get picked first, and it's because the teacher is like, hey, I don't want him to feel bad. So like, make sure you select the chubby kid in the class.
At this point, LeSean McCoy revealed the shocking truth that no one anticipated. Shady claimed that even though the league made a mistake, he is still able to rejoice. You were chosen to play for whatever reason. And I'm not going to claim that I won't do it because of what other people might think. Go back and read that. I'm not going to alter my choice because of what other people think. Growth is that. That's maturity. That's a 22-year-old quarterback realizing that his career isn't about appeasing those who weren't going to give him credit in the first place. After that, Shady shared a tale about his 2011 first Pro Bowl. He discussed how he should have made it the previous year but failed to do so. He talked about how you always miss the year you're meant to travel and then make it the next year. He described how, despite the situation, he was thrilled when he eventually received the call since that's what professional bowlers do. They commemorate the accomplishment. They don't provide an apology. Shady went on to say something much more significant. Out of all the Pro Bowls he made, he claimed he regrets only making it to 2. Because it's all about the experience, the memories, getting your family involved, and meeting other players, kids, and wives. He wishes he had attended them all. Therefore, when people question whether Shedeur should have declined, they are asking him to squander a chance that real Pro Bowl players say they wish they had taken more seriously when they had the chance. That isn't wisdom. That is foolishness masquerading as morality. Emmanuel Ako attempted to convey a message about honor and exclusivity. He claimed that because players with losing records are making it, the Pro Bowl no longer has any significance. He likened it to receiving an invitation to an award ceremony and inquiring about previous winners. However, this is what Ako is lacking, and it's quite important. The Pro Bowl was not broken by Shedeur Sanders. The Pro Bowl had already fallen apart. 4 years ago, Tyler Huntley made it. According to Ako, it turned into a joke at that point. Drake may manage to make it last year with 3 victories. As a result, the Pro Bowl has been pointless for a number of years, with numerous absurd picks. However, Shedeur is held accountable for it in some way. That is outrage that is selective. That is criticism that is specifically targeted. That's people attacking a particular player because they don't like him by exploiting a systemic issue. Do you want to discover which part is the most absurd? Congrats to Shedeur, even Ako acknowledged. You put yourself in a position to be selected. To keep enthralling audiences and influencing culture, you must play games, start games, toss touchdown passes, and never give up. Congratulations for being selected. Therefore, even the detractors are compelled to admit that Shedeur deserved the chance to be taken into consideration, participated in every game. He was selected in the 5th round as a rookie. He rose to become one of the NFL's most watched players. He changed the culture. That is not insignificant. For a rookie quarterback on a team that is rebuilding, that is truly astounding. However, because I am aware that the detractors frequently bring up the stat line, let's discuss it. 10 interceptions and 7 touchdowns. Not very good. I'll give it to you. In the conventional sense, those aren't Pro Bowl numbers. What else, though, isn't conventional? Being selected in the 5th round and starting for the Cleveland Browns in the first week of the season. Playing behind one of the NFL's weakest offensive lines had receivers during the season who failed to make important throws. Being placed in a circumstance where you were destined to fail by the prior government. Context is important. Additionally, Shedeur's rookie season is very different from what that stat line indicates when you take the context into account. Let's also be honest about something else. Stats are no longer the focus of the Pro Bowl. Years have passed since then. It has to do with marketability, fan interaction, and popularity. Shedeur Sanders is the NFL's most deserving player for the Pro Bowl based on those metrics. He is currently football's top attraction. The highest ratings go to his games. Sales of his jerseys are skyrocketing. He has an unparalleled social media presence. Shedeur Sanders' attendance at the Pro Bowl makes perfect business sense if the goal is to create an event that fans want to attend and watch. On the Speak Easy, Karen Civil raised an excellent issue. According to him, the Pro Bowl has developed into a fantastic opportunity to introduce your children to their favorite athletes at a lower cost than a typical game. Nowadays, the spectator experience is more important than football merit. And if that's what the Pro Bowl is, then Shedeur's attendance is actually the best choice the NFL could make because no one currently attracts as many fans as Shedeur Sanders. When you consider it, the irony of the whole thing is funny. Shedeur's selection to the Pro Bowl has angered many who claim it lessens the honor. However, elite players continue to decline to participate, which is why the honor is diminished in the first place. And why do they deteriorate? Because they no longer believe it is worth their time. As a result, the Pro Bowl is stuck in a vicious cycle where it is not prestigious enough to draw elite players, which makes it less prestigious, which makes it even less prestigious. Shedeur Sanders is expected to resolve that issue in some way by declining the offer and becoming the only player to say, "Nah, I'm too good for this." That would exacerbate the situation. That would be yet another player turning down the Pro Bowl, demonstrating that it is no longer taken seriously. The Pro Bowl is actually benefiting from Shedeur's decision to accept when everyone else declined his offering them a tie. Fans want to see the person he's offering them. He's making them relevant. Regarding speaking engagements, LeSean McCoy made an intriguing analogy. He claimed that if he is given an award or invited to speak somewhere, he inquires as to who else has won it. He rejects it if it's nobody. He agrees if they are respectable individuals and past presidents. However, in this case, such reasoning is not applicable. Here's why. There are still actual All-Pro players on the Pro Bowl roster. Josh Allen succeeded. Justin Herbert succeeded. Elite players continue to compete. Shedeur won't be standing next to a group of practice squad members, after all. Some of the top players in the AFC will be with him. Who is there is not the problem. Who isn't present is the problem. Additionally, those who choose not to participate are the ones who are not present. They are to blame, not Shedeur. This point was expertly conveyed by LeSean McCoy. No matter how you feel, you have to put Pro Bowler in front of that name before you say it, he stated. The guys who came before him decided not to go, regardless of whether he deserved it or not or whether his stats were sufficient for him to make it. He was therefore next in line according to the pecking order. He is a professional bowler as a result. That's all. That concludes the conversation. Shedeur Sanders is a professional bowler. It is a fact. That will always be on his resume. And when people reflect on his career in 20 years, the 2026 Pro Bowl will be among his accomplishments. An asterisk won't be visible to them. They won't recall that he was a substitute. All they will notice is that he survived. Nobody will recall that he was an alternative in 5, 10, or 15 years. As Shannon Sharpe stated on Nightcap, regardless of how it occurred, it will always be a part of his legacy. And to be honest, he's doing well. Shedeur deserves praise for seizing the chance when it presented itself. It's admirable that he refuses to let detractors control his choices. It's admirable that he realized that in the NFL, opportunities are limited and careers are short, so you should seize every honor you can. Players that are too cool to play in the Pro Bowl right now are making a mistake, according to the Speak Easy crew. Shady stated that he only attended 2 of his Pro Bowls and regrets not attending all of them due to the memories and the experience. If anything, Shedeur is more intelligent than the deteriorating veterans. He is aware of how important these times are, how important it is to interact with other players, how important it is to develop relationships, and how important it is to take advantage of everything the NFL has to offer. That is wisdom, not weakness. LeSean McCoy made an effort to set himself apart from Shady. He stated that while it's above him, he would definitely accept an invitation if he were a backup linebacker. However, he wouldn't go if he were a top player like Shady, since it would be beneath him. Shedeur isn't a backup, though he's not just a fortunate fringe player. He is the Cleveland Browns' starting quarterback. He was selected in the 5th round and outbid all other candidates for the position. He is the NFL's most well-liked player. He is the franchise's future. Therefore, it is absurd to think that he is unworthy of accepting a Pro Bowl invitation. If anything, it demonstrates that he is confident enough in himself to not be concerned about the opinions of others. It demonstrates that he is more concerned with advancing his profession than with defending his ego. Here's the bottom line. Shedeur Sanders had every right to accept his spot in the Pro Bowl. He didn't break the system, but it is broken. He accepted it after several quarterbacks rejected it before him. That isn't a sign of his failure. He took advantage of that opportunity. The detractors are furious because they have been waiting for Shedeur to make a mistake so they can claim, "See, I told you he was overrated." They believed they had their moment when he made the Pro Bowl. However, even the Speakeasy crew, who are meant to be critical analysts, had to acknowledge that Shedeur is not to blame. It was stated by LeSean McCoy himself. Since everyone is aware that this criticism is unfair, I don't want Shedeur to be hit directly. Everyone is aware that he is merely the most recent manifestation of a dysfunctional system. Everyone is aware that no one would be as concerned if his name weren't Sanders. Shedeur Sanders deserves accolades for qualifying for the Pro Bowl. Disregard the sound. Have fun with the adventure. Develop those connections and return the following season prepared to demonstrate that you should be there on the basis of merit rather than merely as a substitute. We're going to continue defending Shedeur against these absurd opinions, so if you're sick of the continual abuse he receives and want stuff that genuinely supports him, click the subscribe button now and leave a comment below. Do you believe Shedeur was correct to accept the invitation to the Pro Bowl? Tell me. Gridiron Insights here. We'll see you in the next.